Hello, everyone. That's a little loud there. And welcome to our Focus 203 Community Engagement Workshop. We're definitely glad to have you guys here. As community members, 2 of us have volunteered to act as co-chairs for the program. My name is Khalid Smith, and unfortunately my co-chair, Melanie Manning, she's a little under the weather and she's not able to make it today with us. So, as a brief introduction, my family and I have been in Naperville for 8 years, and I work as a principal systems architect for a company called CSG, which is one of the largest OSS software companies that supports some of the largest cable and telecom providers in the world. I'm also a co-founder of Success, the parent organization here in Naperville, and an active member of the 100 Black Men of Chicago. A member of the Diversity 203, a member of the District 203 Diversity Committee, and a volunteer for DuPage County NAACP. So a lot of community engagement, and I definitely believe in the power of community engagement. I'm also excited to be a part of the Focus 203 initiative and to have you guys here with us. So many of you here have attended. She wanted to make sure here. All right. So many of you have attended a Focus 203 session in the past and are familiar with the process. For those of you who are new to our engagement series, I'd like to take a moment to explain the format a bit. So each of our sessions will follow a timed agenda. Each session will start with an informational presentation about the topic chosen for the workshop, followed by a small group work activity giving you the opportunity to respond to the presentation. It is important to note that these sessions will not be conducive to the format of an open forum or debate. They are work sessions focused on results and reaching consensus or collective decisions as a group. We want to maximize our time to be as positive and productive as possible while still allowing for the free exchange of ideas. The intent is to involve a large number of people that is as representative of the community as possible. So the process is documented as follows. When you arrived, you should have received a packet of information on your table. In that packet, among other things, you will find a copy of the presentation and a small group activity worksheet. Following our presentation tonight, we will prepare verbatim responses from each small group worksheet and an executive summary reflecting the collective work of all participants of the session. We will also post a video of the presentation on the district's website. As was just mentioned, all Focus 203 State of the District information, materials, and documents will be posted on the district website, so you can definitely review there. We also want to take the opportunity to let you know that District 203 has a robust social media presence on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. New content is going up on social media along with the district website frequently, so check it out and stay as current as you can. We know our time here is very valuable, and it is our goal to have each session end as promised at the promised time or earlier. We have planned a pretty tight agenda for each of the sessions. We have a lot to cover in a very short period of time. So if during this process you have any questions or comments, please use the sheets of paper that are on the tables in front of you to capture your thoughts. And if during the small group time we are able to respond, please, and if we have time, we will try to respond during the small group time. So make sure when you put those questions down, if we cannot respond, please turn that form in. And we will have the appropriate person respond to you in a timely manner. So now we want to introduce our speakers for today.
Good evening. My name is Jane Willard. I'm the Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction.
Good evening. Christine Ago, the Assistant Superintendent for Student Services.
Welcome to tonight's Focus 203 presentation on programs and services that you may not know exist within our district. Tonight's outcomes are to develop an awareness of the different ways we support the social, emotional, physical, cultural, and academic well-being of our students, to recognize that District 203 is committed to meeting the needs of all students through differentiated experiences aligned to the needs of individual students, and to gather community input on how we can move our programs from good to great. During the last Focus 203, administration described the systems and supports we have in place to ensure that every student grows from year to year and every student is achieving their grade level standards. The presentation specifically targeted how teachers collaborate to identify students who need additional teaching and learning with grade level content and skills, students who need extensions to enhance the complexity of the grade level content and skills, and for students who demonstrate proficiency with grade level standards and are ready for acceleration to the next level of learning. The presentation focused on what happens within the general education classroom for all of our students. Tonight, Dr. Igo and I will introduce you to programs and services that support students with engaging in the core curriculum outside of the typical general education classroom. These programs allow students to learn the core curriculum, sometimes in a different language or at an accelerated pace, or sometimes within a different structure to their day. Each program is uniquely designed to meet the academic and social-emotional needs of the students it serves. Our mission is to educate students to be self-directed learners, collaborative workers, complex thinkers, quality producers, and community contributors. We achieve this mission by ensuring students have access to high-quality academics, social-emotional learning and supports, extracurricular activities and clubs, innovative programming, and specialized services. College and career readiness is at the forefront of all of our work. As a district, we look to ensure that all student needs are being met by providing multiple pathways for students to successfully transition to post-secondary life. This slide illustrates multiple programs and services that enrich our mission and that what we will share this evening. Preparing our students for the ever-changing world and jobs that do not yet exist requires that we are always looking for ways to improve our programs and our services. This evening, we will identify the key components of each program, highlight some of our successes, and discuss where we have opportunities for growth and where we may be experiencing barriers to implementing some of the key components of these programs. In the small group activity, we will be asking for your feedback and input on these areas. What happens during a child's early years is critically important because it directly impacts the physical, cognitive, and social-emotional growth, not only during the first 5 years, but is the building blocks for all future learning. Brain development is most rapid during the early years, and high-quality, caring and supportive early learning environments greatly increases a child's successful transition into school. We know that early learning begets later learning, and we are leveraging this knowledge to help close the achievement gaps through enhancing our early childhood services. One of our key gap closing strategies is to ensure that every child, with a focus of those most at risk for academic failure, has access to a clear pathway to high-quality early learning experiences. Early childhood is considered the time from birth to third grade. Tonight, we will be focusing on how we support students from birth through age 5 so that every child entering kindergarten has the opportunity to experience a high-quality early learning experience that helps support readiness for kindergarten. Our early childhood services have 3 components: our Parents as Teachers program, our full day and half day preschool classrooms, and our early childhood collaborative. Our Parent as Teachers program is a home visiting program that supports approximately 100 eligible families with a child birth through age 3. Our parent educators work collaboratively with parents to encourage the development of their child, make connections to community resources to strengthen the physical and social-emotional well-being of the family unit, and to detect developmental delays and health issues early so concerns can be immediately addressed. By supporting children birth to 3, we are increasing the likelihood that parents will engage and partner with us when their child enrolls in school and that students have rich early learning experiences. Our preschool classrooms offer a richly diverse environment with multi-age classrooms for approximately 500 students. All classrooms are taught by teachers who are licensed in early childhood education, special education, and supporting our English learners. Students are engaged in lessons that are based upon the Illinois Early Learning Standards and which align with District 203 curriculum. We know that we cannot serve every preschool child age within our programs, so we have created our Early Childhood Collaborative to help us build a bridge for our students who attend private and community-based preschools. We have partnered with community agencies that serve our youngest learners, such as the Naperville and Lyle Libraries and Park Districts, the DuPage Children's Museum, and Little Friends. We are currently working on providing a developmental screener for every child, professional learning for all early childhood teachers in the area of social and emotional learning, and parent education focused on developing social emotional skills. It has been an exciting year for early childhood in our district. We were awarded 3 state grants that have allowed us to increase our services for every student, but especially for our students at risk for academic failure. This school year, we were able to open 2 additional half-day sessions at Ann Reed, allowing us to serve an additional 36 students. We were able to expand the number of children and families we serve in our Parent as Teachers program from 25 families to 115 families, and open 4 full-day early childhood classrooms serving a total of 64 students. While we are thrilled with the additional services we are able to provide, we still have barriers to providing all services we envisioned for our youngest learners. At this time, we have utilized all the available space at Ann Reed and have had to open our full-day classrooms within 2 of our elementary buildings. We would also like to provide more comprehensive services for our families by offering before and after school care for our half-day programs so that we can reduce the number of transitions and provide high-quality enrichment opportunities for our preschool students. However, given the limited facility space available, it is difficult to offer this service.
Once students enter kindergarten, there are a variety of pathways that they may explore. Proficiency in more than one language has benefits that reach beyond the advantages of navigating a global society. Biliteracy has shown to positively impact memory, planning, and problem-solving skills. Bilingual and dual lingual programs promote biliteracy, grade-level academic achievement, and cross-cultural competencies in all our students. Additionally, biliterate students maintain their native language while learning a new language and develop pride in their own culture while also developing an understanding of others. One way our district provides the opportunity for bilingualism is through our dual language program. Dual language is a 2-way immersion program offered in grades K through 8. It's a long-term bilingual and bicultural program that uses 2 languages for instruction, learning, and communication. A balanced number of students from 2 main language groups, in our case English and Spanish, are integrated for instruction with the goal of becoming bilingual, biliterate, and bicultural. For students who speak Spanish in the home, dual language also serves as their English language learner services that are required under state law. All students who achieve proficiency in English and another language may be eligible to receive the Illinois State Seal of Biliteracy or Commendation towards Biliteracy upon graduation. Students who earned the Seal of Biliteracy can receive up to 12 foreign language credits at any state university. We currently serve 200 students within our elementary dual language programs housed across 5 schools. Our dual language program for 6-8 is located at Jefferson Junior High and serves approximately 175 students. It is very exciting that 760 students are currently taking advantage of our dual language programs. Yet we are aware that not every student who is interested is able to participate. At times, we have more students than space available in our programs, and a lottery is used to determine who gets to attend and who is placed on a waiting list. We are proud and blessed to have excellent dual language teachers in all of our classrooms. However, one of our major challenges is recruiting qualified staff, especially as the program has grown. Spanish, dual language programs are in high demand across our area, and many of our neighboring districts are starting dual language programs, which creates competition for highly qualified candidates. As with other curricular areas, we conduct a needs assessment to determine if other offerings align to our student needs and the ability to increase our student achievement. We recognize that we have a large number of families moving into the district who are English language learners. This requires us to look at services to determine whether offering an additional language based on student need is warranted in order to increase bilingualism in our students. Part of the needs assessment also includes conducting a cost-benefit analysis. Adding an additional program requires financial support due to the high cost of resources and specialized staffing for the unique programs. These are all challenges to consider when making decisions regarding the growth of our programs. As students move into third grade, one way we extend our curriculum and accelerate student learning is through our gifted and academically talented curricula and programs. District 203 believes that all students' talents and gifts manifest themselves in multiple ways across all cultural and economic strata at different times during a student's academic journey. The foundation of these programs are built on the belief that students should be educated and nurtured in a climate where their talents are valued and fostered, be supported and challenged by a program of study with rigorous and relevant curriculum, and have advanced learning opportunities available to them in multiple ways. All students have the opportunity for extensions within the core curriculum. However, there are times when we need to extend beyond the typical classroom setting and provide more comprehensive programs. Opportunities for enriched, accelerated pathways in core academic subjects begin as early as third grade. Beginning in third grade and in each subsequent year through junior high, District 203 students have an opportunity to engage in the identification and placement process for academically talented students in math and literacy, and for gifted services through our magnet programs housed at Meadow Glens and Kennedy Junior High. For high school students can select coursework that includes district-created honors courses and College Board's Advanced Placement Program, or AP courses. Honors Math, offered to eligible students in grades 3 through 8, is an accelerated math pathway that results in students taking Algebra 1 in 8th grade and honors geometry in their first year of high school. Project IDEA, or PI, is offered to eligible students in grades 4 through 8 and is an enriched literacy pathway where most students will enroll in Honors English 1 in their first year of high school. And Project IDEA Plus, or PI Plus, is offered to eligible students in grades 4 through 8, is a magnet, self-contained gifted program where students receive enriched and accelerated curriculum throughout the day in mathematics, science, literacy, and social science. For high school, a number of honors and AP courses are offered in a variety of subjects, providing additional academic rigor for students who are prepared to meet that challenge. Each year, with the support of their counselor, teachers, and parents, students can choose to include honors and/or AP courses in their course selections. We currently serve 28% of our students in honors courses and pathways. While we are proud of the number of students accessing more rigorous coursework, we know that our current identification and placement system does not identify all students who are ready for the challenge and would be successful in our programs. Diverse classrooms that represent our district demographics is important. 4 years ago, we made revisions to our gifted identification process to include an appeals process and differentiated assessments in the hopes of identifying more underrepresented students. Our new process has increased the number of students eligible for services, but it has not provided us with the flexibility we were seeking or the ability to identify every student who could access more rigorous coursework. We are proud to share that this year our district was added to the College Board Advanced Placement Honor Roll. Districts on the AP Honor Roll have simultaneously increased access to advanced placement courses while maintaining or increasing the percentage of students earning proficiency on AP exams. According to the College Board, honor roll districts defy the expectation that expanding access automatically results in a decline in the number of students who are proficient. While this recognition is a result of our quality teaching teaching and learning and more students accessing AP courses, we know that there are other capable students who are not accessing our honors and AP courses. Both high schools have developed a strategy for promoting AP coursework to students who show readiness but may not take the initiative to register for those courses. Additionally, we've added AP prep courses over the summer to support students as they transition to the rigor of the AP coursework. As more of our students are accessing rigorous coursework, we must be mindful of the social and emotional impact of a student's course load. We want our students to have exposure to challenging content, but also ensure that their social and emotional well-being is considered and nurtured throughout the school day. We want to encourage the development of the whole child, which focuses beyond academics. We aim to encourage participation in coursework that aligns to students' interests and post-secondary exploration while maintaining a strong school life balance. We recognize that not every student thrives in a traditional high school, and different opportunities are needed to ensure that every student grows and every student achieves. Our Alternative Learning Opportunities Program, or ALOP, as more commonly called, are programs designed to provide a variety of supports to students that lead to high school graduation through the use of different learning techniques and alternative tools or environments. Each of our programs are individualized, address needs related to transitioning into post-secondary life, and support the social-emotional well-being of each student. Our ALOP programs are constructed for high school students who are at risk for academic failure and not responding to supports within each of our high schools. Eligibility for these services is determined through collaboration with school-based staff and parents. We have 3 programs available through ALOP: the Academy, Ombudsman, and Naperville Bridge. The Academy is located within each of our high schools and is designed to meet the individual needs of students by creating a school-within-a-school environment through the use of a cohort. The cohort model is designed to reduce the size of the school by limiting the number of teachers an individual student comes into contact with during the school day. The Academy is designed for 50 total students, 25 sophomores and 25 juniors, which allows teachers to build positive relationships with each student due to smaller class size and the consistency of having students for 2 consecutive years. The cohort environment gives students who are showing warning signs of becoming academically at risk in the traditional classroom environment their freshman year an opportunity to grow as students and individuals during their sophomore and junior years. All courses offered in the program follow the district's college preparatory curriculum. Ombudsman provides 75 students with a blended learning environment which combines teacher-led instruction with online content. Students engage in self-paced online courses with the additional support of certified teachers to actively engage students and to help navigate any barriers that may arise. All courses are aligned with the Illinois Learning Standards and engage students in academic rigor. These services are offered both on-site within our high schools and in an off-site location. Naperville Bridge is an off-site, outside of our Naperville boundaries, educational program which has the ability to provide services to 30 students who are at risk for academic failure. Students are provided additional supports to meet the academic and social-emotional outcomes established by the district. The District 203 curriculum is provided in a flexible manner in order to meet the individualized academic and social-emotional needs of all of the students. Additional supports provided when this setting include greater access to social work support, art therapy, daily character education groups, and self-directed service learning projects. Students enrolled in any ALAP program will earn credits towards a District 203 diploma and can be duly enrolled in any courses within their home school. We know the importance of alternative pathways and are proud of the numerous opportunities that are available for our students. As we look ahead and begin to envision how to enhance our services, we would like to increase the opportunities for our high school students and begin to expand those services to our junior high and elementary students. Just as every student does not thrive in a large, comprehensive high school, there are also students who are not thriving within our junior high and elementary schools. We would like to explore how to diversify our services to provide different pathways for our younger, academically at-risk students. One key component of our support system is holding high expectations for every student and adjusting the type of instruction and the amount of time each student is given to learn the content. Our Connections program is designed to offer more time for eligible students with disabilities to develop the skills they need in order to transition from school to post-secondary life. Under the Individuals with Disabilities Act, school districts are required to provide transition services for the purpose of supporting students in meeting their long-term goals in the area of education, vocation, and independent living. Many of our students with disabilities are able to meet the goals within their transition plan within their 4 years of high school, while other students continue to need services through their 21st birthday. Connections, located at our Fifth Avenue location, serve students 18 to 22 whose IEP team has determined they need additional time to meet those post-secondary goals. All of the services focus on the real-life application of skills and are aligned to the individual goals of each student. Our work in the classroom and across programming is framed through the belief of presuming competence. We believe all students can and will learn, and we set high goals for achievement with a focus on transitioning into post-secondary life. Self-determination and social skills drive our work and are threaded across all services that we provide. In order to build student employment skills, we seek opportunities with our community partners to provide competitive employment. When students need more time to gain pre-employment skills, they work within our micro-business known as Micro Connections. Students have authentic work experiences in a supportive work environment while gaining the skills necessary for competitive employment. It's been an inspiring few years within our Connections program. As our Micro Connections business has grown, so has our ability to provide authentic work opportunities for our students. In the past year, we've created wedding invitations for a community bride, provided centerpiece arrangements with many local events, and we have begun to sell our products such as dog toys, lanyards, and bookmarks throughout town. Connections program aims to provide the state-of-art transition services for our students with disabilities. As we continue to live up to our hashtag Stronger Together, we are looking for opportunities to provide more authentic experiences within our community, provide supported opportunities for students to enroll in classes at the College of DuPage, and to increase the number of students who are competitively employed when they transition to their post-secondary life. Currently, we've utilized all the available space within Fifth Avenue, making it difficult to expand our micro-business and to accommodate our increased enrollment. Alternate pathways to educational success are needed at every step of the way, ranging from the essential early intervention and prevention strategies in the early years to the multiplicity of high-quality alternative options within our EC-12 system. Each of these opportunities allows for all students to thrive and to ultimately meet the district mission and to successfully transition to secondary life. Thank you for your attention this evening. We know that this was a brief overview of some of our more unique programming. If you would like more information, we would invite you to access our district's website to learn more about each program that we discussed tonight. The website contains detailed information and provides the administrator that oversees that program. Again, we'd like to thank you again for your attention this evening. We're going to turn it back over to our Master of Ceremonies to lead us through that small group activity.
All right. Thank you, Christine, Jane. Great presentation. So now that we've learned all about the unique programming and services, it's time for us to get to work in our small group activity. Let me make sure I have the clicker. Okay, so as I explained, as we talked about previously, you all should have a small group activity worksheet in your packet that was on the table. You will use this document to capture your individual thoughts and reactions. So one of the first things that we want you to do is select a recorder and a facilitator at the table. The facilitator should facilitate the discussions, keep the group focused and on task so the work is completed in the allotted time, and report the group's information if time permits. Once the group work begins, the recorder is responsible for completing the information requested on the official pink worksheet in the center of the table. Be sure to complete the information in the box in the upper right corner. This worksheet will be collected at the conclusion of the session and used for the verbatim transcript that we talked about earlier, and that'll go directly to the district administration. So as you begin your work, and just a few reminders. Recorders, please make sure the information committed to the pink worksheet reflects the collective decision, general agreement, and consensus of the group and everyone at the table, not just the opinion of one or two individuals. Facilitators, monitor your time and progress to make sure you complete your work in the allotted time. And at the end of the session, we will only collect the pink worksheet that has been completed by the recorder. So now it's time for us to begin, and these are the questions that you'll be talking through at your table.
Okay, so once again, the pink sheets will be collected this evening, so we'll be sure to have the verbatim responses from each of the groups that we have here tonight. Those will be documented, posted on the website, so all the information is shared. Again, if you have an individual question that is not addressed during the presentation, there's a yellow pad of paper on your tables called I Have a Question. Please submit those, and those will be collected, and the appropriate staff member will follow up with you on that. What we'd like to do this evening in terms of a report out is we're going to go question by question. We'll move the microphones around to the 5 different groups, 5 different tables. Make sure you have a spokesperson appointed. And we'll begin with the first question, and we only want to focus on what did you hear tonight that should be celebrated. So your spokesperson should report out the consensus of the group, not his or her individual celebration, but what you identified as a group of what should be celebrated tonight. And why don't we are we ready right here? All right, Michelle.
Sure, okay. Okay. We thought that some items that ought to be celebrated are early childhood, having the inclusion classrooms, home visiting, and the great outreach that is done there, birth through age 3. We were quite impressed that services are starting for parents at the birth of their children. Micro Connections program to practice the job and vocational skills, and also the Gifted and Talented program, the fact that that is expanding and attempting to include a more diverse population.
I'll be brief. First, starting at a young age, we thought it was outstanding how we tried to go to the very, very young. The second one was how we reached to both ends of the talent spectrum. So for the gifted and the challenged. And then finally, a few of us had firsthand experience with the Connections program through a neighbor, and it was outstanding. Just watching this young man grow was really impressive. So.
All right, our group specifically highlighted a couple of areas, one being the Connections program and bridging the gap to employment, and the second one being the expansion of the early childhood program and the utilization of spaces in other schools, so just the opportunity to expand that to additional children within the district. Those were the 2 major ones we highlighted.
We too highlighted the expansion of the early childhood education preschool program, filling up the building with over 400 kids and then moving into other buildings. We too talked about the Connections program, and their business was quite touching. We talked about the dual language programs as early as preschool was another really strong aspect to celebrate.
Like it said in the slide, 3rd best district in the state, woohoo. And not just settling on being good, but working to be great.
Okay, we will now focus on question number 2. So based on what you heard tonight, what are some ideas or thoughts that you have for us for next steps for continuous improvement of programs and services? So based on what you heard, they talked a little bit about not only the successes and the celebrations from our perspective, but maybe obstacles or roadblocks or things or other challenges, or what are challenges that you see. All right, so focus on your question number 2. Let's mix up the order.
Let's start over here.
Sure. Ours really was around bringing down the special services to lower grades for at-risk students, both learning and behavior. We felt like, there was a lot of attention at the higher grades, but maybe, pushing that down a little would be helpful, so.
Okay, so question number 2, we also spoke of the ALOP program being an opportunity for students in elementary school and junior high. Space was a theme that we heard over and over again. Space in the early childhood program and space for students in the connection program. And then opportunities to begin language earlier for students. So instead of making a choice between Spanish or facts, they have the opportunity to experience both of those. I think I captured it, didn't I? All right.
One of the key things we looked at was the SEL program and saw it as a very big job for one social worker. Possibly expanding that to 2 social workers might be better. Looking at better communication when discussing project idea and honors math so that parents know exactly what to do with that process.
We thought that it would be great to do outreach for the early childhood screenings and the early childhood information to more events such as the Naperville Last Fling and Rib Fest and other places where parents gather with their children. We also thought that it would be helpful to advertise where we could purchase some of the products that the Micro Connections program is making, because we'd like to support it now that we know more about it. And also, we would like to have some summer programs for early childhood to maintain and encourage the great progress that's being made during the school year.
Sorry, and one last one, like was said, continue working to close the gap between the supported early intervention and in the high school, specifically the idea with the ALOP services.
The primary focus at our table was related to the gifted services and talent programs. A couple of specific areas, the fact that we felt grade level 3 was too late, and specifically in a number of cases, it seems like what District 203 is doing is not in compliance with the Illinois Advanced Placement Act and ensuring that we are on par at a minimum with that. Making sure that there is an opportunity for dual language children to also have advanced placement or gifted service offerings, because right now it's basically one or the other. Needing some just general revisions to the overall gifted programs. It was beneficial that it was changed about 4 years ago, it sounds like, but opportunity to continue to improve that on just a general level. And then some other areas related to just expanding the dual language program across the schools. Additional focus on the parent-teacher program to a broader age group, 0 to 5 or 0 to 6, being able to really expand the offerings to a number of different children.
Great feedback, thank you. And with question number 3, I hope you had the opportunity to get creative, because that's really kind of what we were asking you to do, right? You heard some our presentation on unique services and programs, asked you to celebrate, share ideas for improvement. Now we're asking you, what are some other programs and services we should be considering for students? So maybe is your conversation focused on programs we're doing? What else should we do with that to make them better? But I hope you also thought of creatively about what are we not doing that we should be doing, okay? So if you, why don't I look at your faces? I'll give you a couple minutes to talk as a table and then report out on that. Think about not only in the programs and services we talked about, what should we be doing or what should we be considering with them, but are there other unique programs and services that you're aware of you think we should explore? But I want you to come to consensus as that on a group. So we'll give you about 5 minutes to do that together, and then we'll hear your report out. Okay, ready to report out? Let's hear from each group. Just kind of a summary of the consensus of what you talked about. What other unique programs and services should be considered for students in Naperville 203? We ready right here?
Okay, possibly looking at doing more social skills classes in the elementary, small group social skills classes in the elementary, by possibly supporting that with more social workers in the elementary school. More available after-school activities that provide supports for identified kids, whether it be gifted or those that have deficits. Looking for more collaborative opportunities between educators, or for staff and the parents, for possibly educating them on certain disabilities that aren't as well known. Examples, dyslexia and Prader-Willi. Recess every day for elementary school, and PE every day for elementary school, increasing the activity availability for kids in elementary and junior high. And then possibly doing more research on the groupings of students in elementary based on certain characteristics, like maybe at a certain grade level, separating out boys and girls might be effective, or something based on that.
A lot of our focus when we initially talked about this was how do we improve existing programs. So, but the couple of key areas, we obviously noticed there's the space and facility issue, but the couple of specific areas would be adding more language instruction earlier and potentially offering additional languages above and beyond Spanish and Mandarin, more music and art programs, some specific subject level acceleration so that you have the ability, if it's in science, social studies, et cetera, to expand upon that. Oh, and the other one was a parent university, so offering support for parents by attending different workshops on key subject areas that would be interlinked with the school district.
We talked about a need for more specific programs that address specific learning challenges, such as dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyscalculia, due to the number of areas of a child and a family's life that those issues impact. We also talked about teachers needing to be more aware of how to identify red flags that come up for social and emotional learning needs. We're excited about the fact that there's a social emotional learning curriculum and that teachers seem to be aware of it throughout subject matters, but we think that we could bolster the staff's knowledge about when to make referrals or to identify certain areas where a child may be struggling a little bit socially or emotionally, which leads into our last piece, which is having the teachers provide more communication to the parents when they start to see some things that may be a little concerning, so that parents can take a look at it with them.
Okay, so for our number 3, what other unique programs and services should be considered for students? There are 4 here. So practice, career in the field for high school students, for example, some parents here would want the opportunity for their child to shadow, and that is a limited opportunity for some high school students. I drew a picture, but then I found out that it is online already, but it's not so easy to find, so maybe an ease to find this roadmap to provide transparent communication for parents that want to have their students in an honors class. And one suggestion would be increased communication there, either like in a blast or from the building principal. Here's where you can find that, and here's that information. Because it is there, it's just not so easy to find. And then a bridge in between this regular and honors math. So some differentiated instructions say the student didn't qualify or meet the points through the appeals process or those means, but what other opportunities are available for that student? Did I capture it? Anything else? Okay, great.
Okay, we had two items, expand social and emotional programs. I think one of the other teams said to expand social workers, but then also is there an opportunity to do groups for kids? The other item was, can we provide some coaching and partnering with parents, maybe some reference materials that are research-based and provide consistent messages? I guess as a parent who has kids that will be having kids soon, I guess kind of sarcastically, but seriously, if there was a Netflix series on being a good parent, I think we might, really develop better parents. So, not that I, could write the series, but, just something to get some information out there to parents to really partner with them, because otherwise I'm not sure you get that consistent reference material. Everybody's going everywhere, and, the district could probably benefit from that consistent messaging, so.
Great, thank you. And thank you to each of our 5 groups and each of you individually for making the time to be out here this evening. Again, your feedback that we collect on the pink sheets will go into a verbatim report that we will post on the website. Also, I don't know if you noticed, we did record this presentation, so if you know of individuals who want to learn more about some of our programs, direct them to our website and they'll see the presentation and they can ask the questions. If you have an I have a question sheet, please make sure you give it to a staff member before you leave. We repeat this program tomorrow morning at Grace United Church from 9 to 11. So if you have neighbors or friends that you think would have an opinion on some of these topics, we'd love to hear from them as well. And the feedback that we collect at tomorrow's session will be combined with today's feedback, and all of the information from our Focus 203 sessions this year will be used by administration in its work with the Board of Education and thinking about next steps in our strategic direction here in the district. We have one more series of Focus 203 sessions scheduled in April on the 24th and 25th. Topic will really be driven based on some of the feedback we've collected tonight. So thanks again for coming out tonight. How many of you, we think we see some new faces. How many of you, this is your first Focus 203 session? We were right. We thought it, yep, very good. Thank you so much for coming out. We will, sounds like one theme I picked up tonight was parent education, parent communication. So something maybe we can think about on communicating on these events to get more of you to come out, more parents to come out. Hopefully we'll see you again in April. Thanks for your time tonight. Be safe going home.